So, um, have you ever walked into a room full of people and just like had no idea what to say?
Oh, yeah. It happens to everyone.
Right. I mean, maybe it's a party or a networking event or even like a new class. You really want to talk to someone, but your mind just goes completely blank.
It's like you forget how to speak your own language, let alone a second one.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Starting a conversation can often feel, well, way more difficult than the actual conversation itself, especially for English learners.
It really is the hardest part.
But the good news here is that native speakers actually rely on a very specific toolkit of icebreaker phrases to make things feel comfortable.
Yes, they do. It's not magic, it's strategy.
So welcome to the deep dive. Today's session is all about English made simple. We're giving you a practical guide to real-life conversation starters. We'll go from, beginner survival phrases all the way up to advanced methods for building a real deep connection.
And, it's important to realize these phrases aren't just vocabulary words to memorize. They're actually psychological tools. They're designed to signal friendliness, invite sharing, and, most importantly, bypass all that terrible awkwardness of silence.
Because, I mean, you can't have a deep conversation if you can't even open the door in the first place, right?
Exactly. You have to survive the approach.
So let's talk about those first 30 seconds.
Mhm.
We need to start with beginner-level phrases that establish a safe baseline. What does that look like?
Well, it's about leaning on contextual questions. You're in a shared space, so use that.
Like what?
Like asking, what brings you here today? Let's say you're at a company conference, right? You just ask that, and suddenly you're finding out they're from the marketing department in another city.
Right.
Or another great one is, have you been here before?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. If you're at a restaurant or a venue, they might say, no, it's my first time, but the food smells amazing. Instant conversation.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because, I mean, aren't these phrases a little too obvious or, I don't know, boring?
People think that.
Right. Like, why not just walk up and say, hi, what's your name?
Because predictability is actually a superpower when nerves are high.
Wait, predictability.
Think about it. When you walk up to a stranger, their brain is literally treating it like a potential threat.
Wow, really?
Yes. So asking about the shared environment, the location, the event itself, it completely removes the pressure from the individual.
Ah, I see. You're not shining a spotlight on them right away.
Exactly. You place the focus on a totally neutral topic. Asking what's your name can feel a bit like an interrogation if someone is already feeling socially anxious.
That makes so much sense. It's like you're standing side by side looking at the room, rather than standing face to face staring each other down.
Beautifully put. Yes.
So the big takeaway for the listener here is, if you remember one thing, it's that starting safe is the smartest way to test the waters.
Absolutely. Prove you're friendly first.
But, okay, so you've broken the ice, you're talking about the catering or whatever. Now you need to keep the momentum going before that awkward silence creeps back in.
Right, the dreaded silence.
Yeah. How do you pivot to something, a bit more interesting?
This is where you introduce intermediate phrases based on observation. A fantastic one is, I couldn't help but notice.
Oh, I like the sound of that. I couldn't help but notice.
It's so smooth. Let's say you're at that same event and you say, I couldn't help but notice your camera. Do you do photography?
Oh, and then you find out they love capturing landscapes or something.
Exactly.
Right.
It shows you're actually paying attention to them as a person.
It's way better than just asking what someone does for a living. I feel like everyone defaults to, so what do you do?
Oh, what do you do is probably the worst offender in small talk.
It really is. It feels like a job interview.
It does. So the ultimate upgrade to that is asking, what keeps you busy these days?
What keeps you busy these days? I love that.
Yeah.
Because asking what keeps you busy is almost like, well, it's like giving someone a conversational menu.
A menu, how do you mean?
Like, they can choose to talk about their job if they want to, or they can serve up their hobbies instead.
That is a perfect analogy. Yes.
Because maybe they just started a new work project, but they're way more excited about the weekend Spanish classes they're taking.
Right. And you've just given them permission to talk about the Spanish classes. You are respecting their boundaries.
Yeah, you're not forcing them into work mode.
Exactly. You're letting them control the narrative of their own life. It's incredibly empowering for the person you're talking to.
That is such a subtle but powerful shift. Okay, but what happens when the standard topics, the weather, the jobs, the event, what happens when those run completely dry?
You hit a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to inject a little randomness to spark genuine interest. Right?
You do. And this is the art of the weird question.
Okay, weird questions. I'm intrigued.
So an intermediate phrase you can use here is, this might sound random, but...
This might sound random, but... Wait, isn't it risky to just blurt out a random question? Like if I just go, this might sound random, but have you ever tried rock climbing?
Well, what's fascinating here is the psychology of the softener.
The softener.
Yes. That first part of the phrase, this might sound random, but it literally softens the blow of changing the topic.
Oh, I get it. You're giving yourself permission to change the subject abruptly.
Exactly. Without it, you'd sound a bit socially unaware. But by acknowledging that it's a random question out loud, you show that you understand the rules of conversation. You're just playfully bending them.
Wow. So I could ask about rock climbing, and maybe we end up connecting over this new downtown climbing gym or something.
Totally. Another great one in this category is, that's an interesting watch, or whatever item it is. Is there a story behind it?
Is there a story behind it that's so much deeper than just nice watch?
Right. Because maybe they just say, thanks, I bought it online. But maybe they say, actually, it was a graduation gift from my grandfather.
Oh, and suddenly you're having real conversation about family.
Exactly. People love telling stories. You just have to give them the prompt.
I love this. We are basically giving you a master class on how to be fascinating right now. And hey, if you're enjoying this deep dive, make sure to subscribe to our feed for more English listening practice.
It really is practical stuff.
It really is. So, okay, we've survived the approach, we've pivoted, we've asked the weird questions. Let's move on to the advanced maneuvers.
This is where we build vulnerability and trust.
Right. Because if you want to build a relationship that lasts longer than a 5-minute chat by the snack table, you have to transition from sharing facts to sharing feelings.
And indecisions. Indecision is a great tool here.
Wait, indecision, like what?
Like using the phrase, I'm on the fence about.
Oh, okay, I'm on the fence about. So like expressing indecision about, say, changing careers.
Yes. Or even smaller things. But another incredibly powerful one is between you and me.
Between you and me.
Right. Between you and me, I think the deadline for this project is a little too ambitious.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Because native speakers use these phrases all the time. But why do they work? Why does saying, I'm on the fence, or between you and me, build trust?
Because you are sharing a minor struggle or a harmless secret.
A harmless secret, I like that.
When you share a secret, even a tiny one, it instantly elevates the listener from just being a stranger to being a trusted confidant.
Wow, it's like you're pulling them into your inner circle.
Exactly. You are actively testing to see if the other person is willing to be authentic and, drop their professional mask.
Because if they respond by saying, oh my gosh, me too, I thought I was the only one, boom, you're bonded.
You're in the trenches together. You've bypassed the small talk entirely.
That is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, you don't want the whole conversation to just be complaining or sharing struggles, right?
Right, no. You want to move into the final stage, which is intellectual playfulness.
The final boss of conversation.
The final boss. This is being able to debate, to ponder, to share complex ideas with someone you've just met.
Without causing an argument.
Exactly, without triggering defensiveness. And to do that, you can share deep interest by saying something like, I've gone down a rabbit hole recently with...
I've gone down a rabbit hole recently with... I love this one. I've gone down a rabbit hole recently with urban gardening techniques.
It's such a great phrase.
To me, saying you've gone down a rabbit hole is literally like opening up your brain's browser history for the other person to look at.
That's hilarious, but it's true.
It just shows genuine, completely unapologetic passion for a topic.
It does, and passion is contagious. Now, if you want to invite them into a deeper, maybe philosophical thought, you can say, I've been chewing on this question.
Oh, like, I've been chewing on this question. Do you think technology actually connects us, or does it isolate us?
This raises an important question about how we frame our thoughts, because phrases like chewing on this question actually protect the speaker.
Protect them how?
Well, you aren't stating a rigid, stubborn belief. You aren't saying technology is evil and here are the facts.
Right, that would immediately put people on the defensive.
Exactly. By saying you're chewing on it, you frame the thought as an exploration. You're inviting them to explore it with you.
It's like you're in a sandbox together, just playing with ideas.
Exactly. And if you actually want to politely disagree with them in that sandbox, you use respectful debate phrases like, I'm playing devil's advocate here, but...
Oh, that's a classic. I'm playing devil's advocate here, but wouldn't a new policy actually limit innovation?
Right. It removes your ego from the disagreement. You're just playing a role for the sake of the conversation.
It's brilliant. You get to have a really stimulating debate without anyone getting their feelings hurt.
Exactly. It's safe, but it's deep.
Well, we have covered a massive amount of ground today.
We really have.
Just to quickly recap for everyone listening, we started safe with shared surroundings, asking, what brings you here?
Then we upgraded the small talk.
Right, by asking what keeps people busy instead of what they do for work.
And we used softeners to ask those fun, random questions.
And finally, we talked about sharing minor vulnerabilities and taking people down our conversational rabbit holes.
It's quite the toolkit.
It really is. Do you have a final thought for our listeners to take away today?
I do, actually. I'd love for you to just mull over this idea. When you use a phrase like, I couldn't help but notice, you are doing more than just being polite.
Okay.
You are actually training your own brain to be more present and observant in your daily life.
Oh, wow.
The right icebreaker doesn't just change the conversation you're having, it changes how you see the world around you. You start looking for the interesting details in people.
That is so true. It shifts your whole mindset from being anxious to being curious.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
So for you listening at home or on your commute or wherever you are, as the third person in the room with us, where are you listening from today?
Yeah, we'd love to know.
And which of these icebreaker phrases are you most likely to test out this week? Was there a phrase that was completely new to you?
Hopefully a few of them.
Right. And did you find this deep dive helpful? Let us know. We really want you to get out there and start a great conversation.
You have the tools now. No more blank minds.
Exactly. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.